The ocean is full of inexplicable mysteries. Every inch of its depths holds a secret that no one has been able to reveal. And the more we try to learn about it, the more difficult it becomes to understand what's hidden in its depths. In the case of the Devil's Sea, everything is much more complicated. In this small extension of no more than 100 kilometers of land to the south of Tokyo, hallucinatory events occur, and even if science hasn't been able to explain them, local inhabitants have chilling theories that most refuse to believe. However, everything seems to indicate that these stories are more real than you might think, and if you're willing to check them out, you'd better get ready to dive into one of the most gloomy places on the planet to discover the chilling mysteries that are hidden in it. Spooky mysteries hidden in the Devil's Sea. For more than 3 decades, Japan has experienced a cultural explosion. The West has begun to consume its manga and anime, its television programs, and practically all manifestations of its culture. In addition, tourism has skyrocketed, and almost 2 out of every 5 teenagers of young university students would like to visit this wonderful country at least once in their lifetime. However, in the midst of this prosperity, an indecipherable mystery survives. Those who know it prefer to get away from it as soon as possible and forget that such a place could exist, although that doesn't make it disappear. Its name isn't friendly at all, and few would wish to venture into a place called the Devil's Sea. Still, the small stretch of sea is replete with legends, strange disappearances, and creepy creatures that the authorities haven't been able to explain. Numerous ships and planes have attempted to cross its borders, but none have managed the feat. Just as it happens in the Bermuda Triangle, people who enter this mysterious sea don't manage to return home. There are no explanations or reasoning to deduce what's happening here, but the Devil's Sea harbors its own triangle of doom. Its name is the Dragon Triangle, and it has become one of the creepiest places on the planet in a short time. Located in the Pacific Ocean, a few hours from Tokyo, the Dragon Triangle is made up of imaginary lines that go from the southern coast of Japan, the Bonin Island, and the imposing Philippine Sea. In total, they don't add up to more than 110 kilometers in distance, but in this short extension of water, there are about 12 lethal vortexes. In them, the attraction of the electromagnetic waves of the planet manifests itself more strongly than in the rest of the world, and this could be one of the causes that turn this place into an authentic submarine cemetery. Of course, due to its fame, its equidistant position with the Bermuda Triangle, and its similarity in terms of catastrophes, the world has baptized this place as the Bermuda Triangle of the Pacific. Because of this, sailors and merchant ships avoid crossing this route, and the authorities have begun to write of these waters as lost despite the fact that they hide interesting natural resources. However, this dark reputation is nothing new. The Devil's Sea has been labeled as a supernatural and chaotic place for a very long time. The earliest records of disappearances date back to the time of the Mongol Empire, around the 1270s. According to the stories, the great conqueror Kublai Khan was the first to know the fury of this sea, as he intended to invade the Japanese coasts and send his ships loaded with 40,000 crewmen through the Dragon Triangle. Of course, Kublai Khan was unaware of the fame of this area and all the stories that hundreds of fishermen and merchants had suffered in its waters. However, he soon learned his lesson. Not a single one of the 40,000 crew members he sent on that mission survived. Typhoons, sea vortices, and a host of creatures are said to have destroyed the invaders. From that moment on, the fame of the Devil's Sea began to spread around the world. For more than 900 years, this place has been transformed into a spot that no one wants to look at. Maps mark it as a dangerous area, and not only because of the tragedy that Kublai Khan experienced. For example, in the 19th century, several military vessels disappeared trying to cross these waters. The same happened to veteran pilots, warships, and different army troops. In fact, even during World War II, Japan used this area as a weapon, and the numerous disappearances multiplied when enemy troops tried to take advantage of this unprotected area, although they never managed to cross it. Later, during the 1950s, when Japan was suffering from one of the worst economic crises in its history, different groups of fishermen tried to enter the rich fishing area of the Devil's Triangle. However, they soon discovered that they couldn't extract anything from the sea without paying a high price. None of the boats that went out to sea during that time made it back to shore. Likewise, during the last decades, there have been major tragedies in which entire cruise ships and vessels with crew members from abroad have disappeared. The most recent case was the sinking of the Kayo Maru No. 5, a powerful ship with 31 foreign crew members. According to reports from the high seas, the ship entered this dangerous triangle and all communication was lost. After several months of fruitless search, the ship was discovered stranded on one of the southern islands of the Dragon Triangle. Upon entering the interior of the ship, there wasn't a single dead body. The ship had no considerable damage or signs of distress or danger. Everything appeared to be in perfect condition, except for the fact that the crew had disappeared. None of the victims' bodies was ever found, and many other vessels have met the same fate in the last 30 years. Faced with this fact, the fishing communities on the shores of the Philippines and Japan have come up with their own stories and explanations. Some attribute this mysterious phenomena to legends dating back to approximately 1,000 years before Christ. These fables recreate the existence of mysterious water dragon-like creatures. Apparently, these beasts would be sleeping in the depths of the ocean and would feed on the foolish who would dare to invade their domain. For its part, science has also tried to solve this difficult mystery. Researchers such as Ivan Sanderson have suggested that the powerful currents of the Dragon Triangle, vortices, could be responsible for the disappearances of the various vessels that are recorded from time to time in the Devil's Sea. Other equally interesting hypotheses suggest that, in reality, the phenomena is due to the underwater volcanoes that abound throughout the seafloor of the Devil's Sea. These volcanoes enter into small eruptions on a regular basis and could be behind the various accidents. It would also explain its similarity to a sea dragon and why the natives of the Japanese coast would have associated this phenomena with this creature from medieval mythology. Of course, none of these hypotheses have been proven so far. It remains an almost impossible task for scientists and researchers to dive down to the depths to inspect what's happening in the Devil's Sea. Those who have tried have never returned, and no one is willing to sacrifice themselves to discover the secrets of such a place. However, knowing similar phenomena happening in other parts of the world could help to decipher what's happening in the Devil's Sea. And it isn't the first time that the ocean offers inexplicable and unprecedented mysteries. The seas hold many secrets, and if you check out the following videos, you can see for yourself the chilling mysteries that not even science has managed to solve. Ready to discover what's hidden in the depths of the ocean? Then here are the videos.